Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm Ninon, your host, and right next to me you can see AJ. She is actually my producer and my co-host and puts all this incredible things together and what goes on and what happens. I also want to thank our audience out there, because without you, nothing happens, because otherwise nobody sees us. Also, we're all very excited. We haven't got over all the hoopla and everything else of being on Roku, so we're on that too. And then, of course, we have this incredible guest, which I don't ever actually introduce the guest. So I leave that to AJ. So AJ, go ahead.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
You look it.
I love working with you. What can I say? You're the best.
I don't know. Go.
Awesome. Okay, so our guest is wonderful. We have a special VIP guest tonight. And we have Roger Velasquez and the Latin Legends. He is a Latin Grammy award-winning singer and musician. He is amazing. He has worked for Disney, done theater and cinema, making movies, music for that. He's worked with Selena. He has sung and performed the national anthem. He's just amazing. And we just want to say hello and welcome to our wonderful guest this evening. Hello, Roger.
Hi, Jay. Great to be here with you today. Hi, Ninon.
Hi, how are you? Hey,
I'm good. I'm good.
Listen, Roger, how did you get my name right? Not many people do. They mess it up, go down the road somewhere. And I'm saying, yes, it's okay.
I've been practicing your name, Ninon.
It's in the mirror. It's Ninon.
I've been playing in my sleep.
Roger is easy. Roger is easy. Well, I don't know. The name Roger might be easy, but my goodness gracious me, have you done a lot in your life? And you personally, you don't look that old to have managed to accomplish so much.
Well, thank you.
How old were you when you started?
Well, I started with the music when I was about 9 years old. I began playing with some of the boys in the neighborhood, and one of them is actually my godfather to my daughter, and he's been with me since then. My sax player and dear friend Anselmo Leal. So we've been at it a long time.
Is he still with you?
He's still with me, and he was there at the Grammys with me, and we were able to receive the Grammy together, and that was just an amazing experience. And
that must have been, we're diving straight into the Grammy, and why not? I mean, it must be, you're sitting there now. How many people were you competing against? Was it 5 or 6? How many is it?
Well, there were originally, I believe there were 38 submissions, and out of the 38 submissions, they go down to 5 nominees.
And then you sit there, your knees are knocking, and they come out, and they've got this paper and this envelope, this whole thing.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. I mean, everything that a young boy of 9 years old dreams of happened that night. And we got to live out our dream, and it was just an amazing experience.
It must have been. Now, when you were sitting there and you're listening to all these names and your heart is beating, and all of a sudden you hear this sort of Roger come out, Velasquez, you think, I think that's me.
I went there to win, but I wasn't prepared to be the winner. And so I didn't have a speech written out or anything of that sort.
Good.
And my wife actually nudged me and told me, "You won, get up, go," because I was in shock. And then when I got up to the stage is when the heart starts beating out of my throat.
Yes, and now you can't talk, and now you don't know what to say, and now you don't know who to thank.
Yeah, totally unprepared. Didn't write anything down like a fool. Next time I'll have something written down.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a surreal experience.
And what was this for exactly, so that audience know?
It was the Latin Grammy for Best Tejano Album.
Wow. That's amazing. How long did that take you to put together and to actually think of all the instruments and all the things you wanted in this particular piece that you were obviously putting it in for the nomination?
Well, it was my sixth solo album, and we'd been at it for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it took 10 years to get to that place. And actually, it took more than that because I recorded some songs that I had done back in the 90s and that really didn't get the attention that I thought they should have gotten. So I put them on this record along with seven other original pieces that were also included on the Tex-Mex Funk album. And so it took a long time. Let's just say it took a long time.
Yeah, the reason
it wasn't an overnight thing, by no means.
Well, that's why I like you to give that answer, is because a lot of people out there think, oh, just put it together. No, it does that. It doesn't work that way. I know it doesn't. I know it doesn't. I've done many things myself, and it's taken 10 years, 16 years. It takes all this time to get people to know you and understand you and know who you are and what to do.
Absolutely. And I was just over the top because I mean, my friend, my buddy, my companion Anselmo Leal and I, right before that album was released, because we had spent a year working on the record, and it's just like, how the business is. I mean, it just doesn't love you back sometimes, and you feel like, what am I doing here? What am I doing?
You do. You sometimes you sit back and you say, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? What am I trying to accomplish?
I went to the University of Texas to study business.
Yeah.
And here I am doing music and struggling, starving artist pretty much, and ready to just call it quits.
Yeah. There's many times you can do that, but because of your tenacity and because of your also because of your talent and your feeling for music, you just can't let go. Some things you can let go of.
Sometimes you question that. Sometimes you question yourself. You say, am I missing something here? Maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe, you start to doubt yourself.
That is the fear. That is a big fear, Roger. That's a very big fear.
And then the Almighty says, okay, now it's time,
Yes.
and it just affirmed everything. It just, gave us what, you're doing a good job. And it felt so good to have that affirmation from the Recording Academy.
Yeah.
And it was just a life-changing moment.
It must have been a complete life change for you. Now, I'm getting to your bands. When you go out and perform, how large is your band? Is it a large band?
Yes, I have a 10-piece.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Band. Yeah, I have a full 5-piece horn section, drums and Latin percussion, and I have the full rhythm section, and I have I just added a female vocalist to the group as well, because a lot of my music has that female vocal texture to it.
Yes, yes.
So there's 10 people plus me on stage.
How amazing. So, and you've always had a large band, because you look the type of person that if you're going to do it, you're going to do it right, and you're going to have a big band. You just look that type of person.
I had a big argument with my brother, because my little brother, who is kind of a big wig around these parts, and he would hire me from time to time, but he calls me and says, I need you to come out and don't bring the whole band, just bring 2 or 3 guys and do the thing. But it's hard for me to explain to him that I just don't do things that way. Either I show myself and my band in our best light, or I just don't do it at all.
You don't do it at all. You are so right. You are so right. But it seems like that when you have, it brings it out in you anyway, because when you're out there and you're singing and you're doing your thing, and you've got this full band behind you, you've got nothing but power behind you.
Absolutely. Nothing like it.
And it gives you the, you're doing it right. It's okay.
The feeling is just incredible, It's just
it definitely is. Have you ever performed or for a long time or had a stage here in Vegas?
I did the Tejano Music Convention. It's an annual convention in Las Vegas. I did it 4 times.
Yes.
We performed at the at Bally's, at the Las Vegas Hilton, at the Rio, and where was the other one? I can't. It was
Caesars?
another. No, it wasn't Caesars.
Well,
It
Did
just
you
escaped
like it? Did you like it,
I
Roger?
I actually did like it. I loved it actually. I would like to do more in Las Vegas.
yeah, that's what I was
Um,
thinking. You got this big band.
uh,
You're like, you remember when we had the Shirley Basses out here and all the Frank Sinatras and all these,
uh,
they all had these incredible big bands, and you would dress up and you would go to the performance, you would absolutely love it. And
yes,
although you weren't as part of the audience, part of the show, you felt part of the show because it was so beautiful. It was so powerful. I think,
yes.
oh, I wish you could. You got to start putting some feelers out.
Yeah, it's the convention is great. It's a really big dance, and they usually have about 2,000 people turn out, and it's a good sized stage and all. But I would like to do like the more intimate type of
Yeah, I
room.
was thinking of a hotel. I was thinking more of,
Yeah,
no, I was thinking of the Wynn, or I was thinking of the Encore or Caesars. They've all got fabulous rooms. And
something like that would be really,
that's
really.
what I'm thinking of. No, I'm not
Yes.
thinking of the convention center. No, you don't want to be in a convention center. You want to be in a very elaborate room. You want to be
I've
in.
done that. I've done that, and it's very impersonal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I've been to the shows. My father and mother used to go when I was a teenager. They used to go
Yeah.
like every 4 6 months. They'd go to Vegas, and I got to go with them once and do all the shows. And we saw Dionne
Oh,
Warwick. I got to see Jerry Lewis and Mel Torme, and just that kind of room.
yes.
It's just intimate with the
It's
people, and
very
you
intimate. Yes, it's
feed
an
off of the
intimate.
crowd. To me, that's what I would like to do.
So what have you got planned now? What I mean, I don't ever read anybody's resume, but AJ, you put it up, and I got fixated on
There's
this.
just so much on there, right?
No, never too much. I'm fixated on reading it all, and I thought, my goodness, AJ, I'm sure you want to ask Roger a question after looking at that resume.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I was going to mention, please come to Las Vegas because you're very special there. It's not everyone has a 10-piece band. So that is extraordinary, Roger. So we appreciate you. But my question is, actually, before I get to my question, I want to thank Iris Ayers Entertainment.
Yes.
And
Thank
I
you,
also,
Iris, dear Iris.
we love Iris. And also I want to thank Teresa,
Yes,
your wife.
Teresa, I can't do it without her. She is not only my wife, but she's my partner. We have our own record label. She's the president of the record label, and I just could not be who I am without her.
Isn't that
And,
wonderful? That's so sweet. So, but Iris is amazing. Oh, this woman is
she's
wonderful.
a dear, and we love her. And I just, she really believes in what I do, and
No.
we've been working together for a couple of years now, and she's really working hard to try to get me to Vegas.
Well, we're
It is
we've got
wonderful.
to see what we can do now.
Yeah. So I did want to ask you, Roger, about your latest video. Can you share with us the name of it, your latest video? Because I sent that to Ninon. She watched it. I watched it. We love it. Can you share with us the message and everything about it, please?
Sure. The song is called Amor del Otro Lado, which means love from the other side. And it's kind of a social commentary on the immigration issue. And it's kind of my way of addressing the issue. And I saw something on the news one day where, because it was all about the immigration thing and the border. They had just closed the borders and done all of these things, right? But there was a preacher, a Baptist preacher, I believe he was, or a Christian preacher anyway. And he found a way to bring couples together that were from different sides of the border, So there's all of these lovers that can't be together because of the closing of the border. But this preacher was marrying them in the center of the bridge, which
love it.
touched me, because despite how governments and despite how officials feel about borders and all sorts of obstacles, and they don't take into consideration that there's people's hearts involved, that there's families, and and they're human beings and whatnot. And not even the bridge could keep these lovers apart. And they would be married in the center of the bridge. They would meet in the center with the preacher and be married, you know? So I thought that was kind of
once they got married, when they got married, could they both go over together?
I think so. I think that.
So that was the whole point of it.
I believe so. I believe that, so they found a way.
They found a way to stay together.
And love conquered that whole thing,
Well, love conquers all, doesn't it? Love conquers everything.
Absolutely.
I love that.
We just need a little bit more of it floating around.
That's right. That's right.
We got to spread the love word around, spread all those hearts around. Would you do this or something? I don't know what you do.
That's it, Ninon. Yes,
I can never do it the right way.
My daughter's going to ditto me for doing that.
AJ knows how to do it, you see. So we're going to spread that.
My daughter's going to say, Dad, you did it wrong.
Yeah, well, I always do it wrong. Don't worry, Roger, you and I. Get it.
Doing great, but you're absolutely right. Love finds a way, and that's such an important message. I'm so glad you made that video. This is what we need, isn't it right, Ninon?
Absolutely, this is what we need. In fact, this is a little bit why we have our program, NinonSpeaks. I've had NinonSpeaks since 2005 actually, but it was always a private program, and I used to teach people privately and help them and just talk to them, whatever I did. And then I met AJ, and that's a long story. I won't go into it now, but it's a long story. So AJ came on board, and then we decided we'd do a Zoom thing, and we start connecting people and bring people like you into the room and let people know who you are and what you are and where you are and how we can promote you and how we can get you further out there with your beautiful band, which is absolutely amazing. Your records, your voice, I mean, everything it's just, it seems to me like a little bit of a hidden secret in this part of the world. Am I right?
I would be amiss if I didn't mention my good friend, Jesse Borrego, he's a big star of stage and screen. He directed and produced the video, and we sing the song together. Yeah. Jesse he was on Blood In, Blood Out. He did New York Stories. He did Tecumseh. Most recently, he's been on Colombiana, Fear the Walking Dead with Ruben Blades, and Dexter, and a whole bunch of other movies. So he's a big actor, and he sings the song with me. We do it together, and he directed and produced the video.
That's wonderful that you do that for him. So now, whereabouts do you exactly live at the moment? What part of the world?
San Antonio, Texas.
San Antonio, Texas.
Where the Alamo is.
I've been there. I was there once. Yeah. Isn't there a river there that you can walk around the river? The river walk. Oh, I thought that was actually beautiful. The only problem was when I was walking by, I thought someone's going to tip me into the river. But there's nothing to stop you from getting in there.
I was the only one that felt that way, yeah.
They don't. Do they have a guardrail at all, or some kind of rail?
No, there's no guardrail.
There's like a walkway on either side of the river, and
when you're walking, if someone doesn't like it, they give you the shoulder, and off you go.
Wow.
They have those boats that they're like
they'll save you.
Boats, and you can have dinner on one of those barges, and it's
very romantic. It's very beautiful there, by the way. Now, okay, Roger, what do you have in mind now? What have you got on your plate, and what on your platform, no pun intended, right now? What have you got sort of in the works?
Well, I'm currently working on a new album with my my buddy Joe Trevino, who he owns Blue Cat Recording Studio here in San Antonio, Texas. He's a 5-time Grammy Award winner. And we're working on a new record that we hope to release in 2022.
Soon.
I've just been inducted in the Tejano Hall of Fame.
Oh, so congratulations!
Thank you. They're having that ceremony in Alice, Texas, January 8th, I believe.
Oh, soon.
So I'll be attending that, God willing, and the creek doesn't, overflow. But I just want to work with my band. I just want to be on stage with my band again, get past all of this, shutdown thing and just go back to playing with my group.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it hard to get out there, to get bookings, to get people back? It seems to be very hard to get people to book people, not for the performers. Performers are all ready. All the performers are ready. This seems to be very hard for the people to book you. I don't know, their pen's not working or something's not working.
Yeah, I'm getting calls. I'm getting some calls, but there's a lot of reluctancy because they don't know. There's a lot of unknowns, you know. There's a lot of unknowns, but they're ready to come out. They're ready to go out and dance and be around other people, you know. And there's things happening, you know. And I've gotten a few calls. We're optimistic, you know. We're very optimistic. But I'm a recording artist, so I write music. I write my own music. I do my own arranging. I collaborate with some of my bandmates, Georgie Padilla and Lee Sparky Thompson, were my buddies and my bandmates, and we do a lot of arranging together. I'm a songwriter. I write the lyrics to my songs.
Do you write lyrics for anybody else, other people?
I've got a few songs in movies.
Great.
And that's kind of, I like to do that. I like to open my catalog to my friends that are movie makers. As a matter of fact, my friend Brandon Almost just did a documentary, and he used some of my material in it. Also, the director, I mean the videographer who did our last video, he does a lot of movies. His name is Aaron Lopez with Mutt Productions. So he's put some of my songs in his movies as well. So that's kind of my thing. I kind of like to do that, you know.
Yeah, you might want to tap into Vegas regarding movies and movie scores. There's a tremendous amount of movies starting to be made here, and I know some of the people actually, well, because I've had them on I have another show, so I've had them on my other show. And there's a lot of movie things moving around here. It's getting bigger and bigger. They're doing more productions here because they actually do have the scenes here. You know, they've got the hotel.
Yes.
They've got the desert, which is where they can do all their cowboys and all their stuff out there. They've got the mountain.
You gotta have a big budget to shoot in Vegas, though, because we tried to do that, and it's like, you know,
no, you don't.
That they ask for is, you know. So I'm sure that there's a lot of big motion picture companies that are doing things.
Well, actually, you don't need a big budget here. I know a lot of people have done full-length movies here, and they have not had a big budget.
Well, we've been wanting to shoot some videos there, but I think Iris has kind of run into some resistance because of the red tape, things of that nature.
Well, who you know and what you know.
I would love to go and shoot in Vegas.
The old who you know and what you know, right?
Yes.
I do want to say thank you again to our wonderful Iris Ayers, because
Iris,
so hard. She's been working so hard.
I want to lift her up and give her the spotlight because she's such a beautiful heart, you know.
Yes, she is a beautiful heart. Absolutely wonderful. When you start writing and you start doing movie scores or whatever, what kind of, I'm asking this for a reason because of the younger generation and the people watching, what kind of mood do you get into? How do you get into that place to write and to, you know?
Well, you know, I saw a documentary the other day, and from time to time I go and I watch like what the Beatles did. Miles Davis did a movie in Paris. It was a French film that he did in the 60s. And he took a different approach than what was, what was done before.
The normal.
And he actually watched the film, played along with the film live, and that's kind of the thing I like to do, you know,
really?
Because you feed off of the character, you get the mood of what's happening in the scene, and I think it works better, you know, than just to sit home and just score things out that may or may not make that handshake, you know.
Absolutely. You're not because you're not connected. Whereas if you're on set and you're watching, you have a connection right there to understand what the scene is or who they are or the mood they're in, all different things. If you're at home, you're right, you wouldn't see any of that.
To have the footage, to be able to watch it and just spontaneously just play what you feel from what you're seeing, you know?
Yes.
I think to me, that's a very esoteric way to approach it.
I've never heard of that way before. Henry Mancini, I met him many times. I was connected to the Hal Roach Awards at Loyola Marymount University, and we honored him. And I had the pleasure of meeting him and talking to him and understanding the way he does scores. And I mean, because there's another brilliant man, he's like
Oh my
you.
God, yeah, genius composer.
Well, so aren't you?
Well,
Yes.
he's
Yes.
a little more prolific arranger, composer than I am. But it's all for the ears, you know. Music is for the ears, and not so much the intellect.
Not at all.
Although a lot of people make music for the intellect, you know, but I do it from the soul, you know. I do it from my heart, and I think that it connects better, you know, with other people, you know.
But that's because of the music you write and the music you know, the Latin music, the people are very active. They're not like the stirred old
passionate, right? Yeah.
Passion.
Passion.
Absolutely.
But we don't, I mean, in England we have the concerts and all this crazy stuff. We don't have all this jiggling and having fun, you know. Where music is to also have fun. I mean, consistent.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what it's for, actually. Music is to lift the soul, you know, to take your mind off of, you know, the humdrum you know, routine, and take you to another place and help you to forget about your you know, what is that song, you know, forget your cares and be happy.
Forget your cares and be happy. I got it.
Yes, that's it. I think that's what music is.
Take all your cares away.
That's right. Absolutely.
If you could give any advice to
if the music doesn't take you to another place, then it's really not doing its job, you know.
No. Then it's not the music you should be listening to. You should listen to the music you actually enjoy, but also listen to the music that takes your mind off other things and makes you happy, and you start to music. You know, it's a funny thing, Roger, but music will absolutely never ever leave the world. Never.
No, I don't think so. And I think during this pandemic, I think people have discovered how important music is. The only problem is that the legislators kind of put up barriers and obstacles, and they don't want to pay musicians and creators of music what they're due. You know, a lot of people listen to music for free, and it costs a lot of money to create those musical works. And the Grammys have been advocating for the rights of music creators, that they get their due, you know. And
yes,
I think people, and I think the legislators, I think congressmen and senators need to realize how important music is to everyone, and that people that create the music should be paid for their music.
You know, I don't think people understand that music and people that create it and write it and sing it and put it together, that's their business.
Absolutely. Like my wife and I,
same as an actor.
Record label, and we spend thousands and thousands of dollars on each record, and we have so much invested. But when it comes to streams, and when it comes to people listening to the music and streaming the music, I think it's like 15,000 streams to be able to make a buck.
Yeah, they all want
something
it
like that. Something
they all want it for free.
Yeah, I mean, we have to stream 15,000. They have to stream 15,000 times in order for us to make $1 or $10, something ridiculous like that.
And then they don't want you to have that.
Right.
So true. Ninon, I'm sorry to interrupt. We're going to have to start wrapping it up.
Oh, I never like this moment. These moments are not good moments. Okay, well, so we can get it in before we close out.
Okay.
Roger, how can anybody reach you?
They can go to rogervelasquez.com, and they can find all about us there. They can also go to Roger V and the LLZs.com, which is that's our alter ego. We do different kinds of music under Roger V and the LLZs, but it's all rogervelasquez.com. It's all there. They can go and they can buy music. They can listen to music. They can watch our videos. They can
What's your
read our
record
bio.
label?
The record label is vdiscos@live.com. That's the email address, but the record label is called vdiscos.
And you're also on Facebook, right, Roger? You're
Yes,
also on Facebook?
We're also on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Twitter. You can find us there, just
Well, you
go
know
on,
what?
like us.
Do you know what, Roger? You're now going to be on Roku because we are on Roku. So you are now going to be put on Roku. So we're going to get you out there. We're going to get as much publicity for you, and we're going to get as many bookings. I want everybody out there to book Roger Velasquez. Absolutely an amazing band.
Ninon and AJ. Everybody.
No, it's not about us. It's about you. It's about you. It's all about you.
Thank you so much.
It's all about you. So I want everybody out there to watch. I mean, I want them to really look into and see who Roger Velasquez is. Absolutely amazing. We're not talking about a three-piece band.
If you're in Las Vegas, you can contact Ayers Entertainment. You can contact Iris Ayers at Ayers Entertainment.
Oh, I know her. She's a friend of mine.
Yes, yes. Anybody who would like to book us in Las Vegas, just get a hold of Iris.
Okay, wonderful. I will make sure they get hold of Iris and do it through that way. Absolutely. We'll definitely do that. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Roger.
My pleasure.
Thank you to our audience. And AJ, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Ninon. Thank you, Roger. It's been wonderful.
Absolutely amazing. We'll have you back on again soon. Take care.
My pleasure. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.